Okay, so in this video, what I'm going to show you is how you can use resampling to create interesting drum edits and add a little bit of variation to your drums. So what I've got here is just a fairly basic jungle style loop with a breakbeat and a bass line. So as you can see, just at the end of the phrase here, I've actually left a gap in the bass, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the drums as a fill here. So what I need to do is let's just cut out this section first by just highlighting that and pressing the shortcut Command E, and now we've got that as a separate piece of audio there. What I'm going to do here is use a combination of time stretching and resampling to kind of change the tonal characteristics of this drum loop, and then I'm going to commit that to audio so we get a little bit of variation in the drum break. So the way I'd go about this firstly is what I want to do is double click this audio clip. I'm going to change the warp mode to texture here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower the BPM, and this will add some really interesting artifacts to the audio. So I'm going to put this down to around 90 beats per minute. And let's just have a listen to how that is sounding now. So it sounds really cool and metallic. And what I want to do is I want to commit this to audio and then bring it back up to the original tempo. So I need to create a new audio track. And this audio track, I need to set the input to the arm and break channel. And then I need to input monitor this as well, just to make sure that the recording is going to get recorded onto this channel. And yeah, all I need to do then is press play and hit record. Cool, so there we have it. And what I'm going to do is just delete this kind of extra little bit of recording that I've got. And then I can delete the bit of audio from the original drum loop. And this is now the audio that we're going to be working with to create this fill. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to double click and select the warp mode as texture again. And now what I can do is just enter in the original tempo, which is 170. And you can hear now that this part of the drum break has got a really interesting tonal characteristic compared to the rest of it. So let me just play this for you. So you can hear that there. It sounds like it's almost kind of got this weird doubling effect, which works quite well for adding a bit of interest to a fill. Let's just have a listen to the whole loop. So what I'm going to do is add just a little bit more interest to this fill. So I need to add a couple of effects here. Firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a simple delay to this channel. And what I'm going to do is basically just create the illusion of stereo width here. I need to just make sure that I'm in time mode and that the channels are unsynced. And what I'm going to do is just make the right ever so slightly more delayed than the left channel. Turn the driver all the way up and turn the feedback all the way down. And you'll hear now that this has split the drum signal kind of very wide in stereo. So you'll hear that best, especially if you've got headphones on as well. And yeah, the next thing I basically want to do is just add a little bit of automation to kind of create some interest with the stereo information. I'm going to have it starting out wide and then snapping back to mono. And this can be simply done by just adding utility. And we need to just automate the stereo width parameter. So if I control click here and select show automation, you can see we start off at 100% stereo width. And what I'm going to do is, let me just zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to start out wide and have it become mono by the end of the drum fill, just to add a further bit of movement. And let's have a listen to the completed loop. Okay, so there you go. That's how you can use time stretching and resampling and a little bit of automation within your effects as well to create interesting drum fills. I could further bounce this to audio as well, just to capture that little bit of stereo width automation that we did. And that would be a useful drum fill to perhaps use in different places throughout the track. Or I could even go back and create more interesting variations using a combination of time stretching with the different warp modes.